In our last episode, we looked at some of the best inverse ETFs, meaning if you don't want to bet on the long term, long going up, then what else can you do? And these are the 9 ETFs that we shared. Hey, this is CeoTrades where money works for you. Remember, I am not your financial advisor. Always seek the help of a professional in order to make the best decisions for you. These are the 7 ETFs that we looked at on our last episode, and some of them are doing unbelievable, like SQQQ. Is it always going to be like that? No, it's not always going to be like that. You've got to jump in at the right moment, and most probably you have to jump in when everybody believes in the opposite. Because remember, for those who believe in the color black, there is also in existence at that very same moment the color white. And if you don't like to go left, there are those who are going to go right, and so on. And those who bet on the upward trend, and those who will invest in the downward trend. And some of these ETFs here invest, or the 7 of them here invest in the downward trend. So just be careful with these as you are looking into these, and I give you these so that you can do your own research and maybe even suggest them to your own professional so that you can make the best decisions for you. Let's take a look at some of the charts in reference to what we're looking today at gold. How can I invest in gold in reference to long-term? Well, number one, this is gold. This is the ticker symbol gold. I should make sure I'm sharing my screen here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. This is gold, and gold is Barrick Gold. There are many types of companies that deal with gold. This is just one. I'm just picking it out, and you can see that when it started in 2005, it was June of 2005, it was somewhere around $23 worth. It went up all the way to $55, almost $56 a share, and it's gone down for several years. It's been very low into 16. It's lost value over time. Is gold properly valued right now? Is it? I would say that it is not. Why? Well, let me show you 3 ETFs, first of all, that I intend to look at and possibly invest in the next day or two, maybe a little, maybe a lot. We'll find out in the next day or two how I plan to invest in that, and let you know that for long-term, gold seems to be a good option for those who are worried where the market is going. If they believe that the market is going to tank, gold is a possibility. Now that it's down low, it's a good time to invest in it. And this one here, although I'm not recommending it, I am going to be watching it because it is on my short-term and mid-term list in reference to what's going on in the world right now. This is a first ETF that I'm going to show you in reference to gold. This one's heavy weighted on gold, and IAUM back in 2021, June of 2021, it was valued somewhere around 17. Guess what? It's somewhere around that. It did go up in the last several weeks from $16 to $17. I believe this one is undervalued, and we'll look at 2 others and then I'll explain why. This is BAR Granite Shares Gold Trust. This one in 2020 was valued around $15.41. That was 2020, January of 2020, around $15.30, and it's up to 17. It's gone up and down since. Gold has maintained its value, and that's the purpose of gold, is to be able to keep a maintained value. Although it's dropped just a little, maybe a little over 10%, it's a good hold at this point in time. S Gold, the third one, is Aberdeen Standard Gold ETF, and this one is also a hold for me. This is back in 2009. It was valued at $9.87. Now it's at $16.95, meaning it's up since that, and it's down about 10% of its all-time highs. Now, why am I looking at gold? Now, this is the information I'm going to show you why I'm looking at gold. Here we go. Now, number one, gold has rebounded 9% since early November as the latest U.S. inflation report shows that moderating prices may prompt the Fed to slow rate hikes. The iShares Gold Trust Micro ETF, the Granite Shares Gold Trust, and the Aberdeen Physical Gold Shares ETF are the best performing gold ETFs. The three funds have performed better than the broader US equity market and a key gold index over the past year. The sole holding of these ETFs is gold bullion. Why am I looking at this? I'm just going to present to you a quick chart on each of these and then give you the lowdown on each of these. Let's just take a look at a different view of these charts on a daily perspective. Everything starts to change when we look on a day-to-day perspective. Now you can see a clearer picture of gold on a daily basis. What happens on a daily? It's been consolidating pretty much since February of 2022, so almost a full year. So like 3 months, 2 to 3 months to go for a full year. That's gold. Now IAUM, iShares ETF, if we look at the daily chart, let's see here, you can see that it has a little bit of a downward trend. Let's see if we can get more downward trend since its highs back in March. And you can see that it's at 17 right now. One more that I want to show you is Bar Granite shares, I believe. This one is also on a similar trend right in here. You can see that it's a little bit down, about 10%. And the last one here is Aberdeen Standard Gold. And on a daily basis, I believe it's also downward trending. That's right. It's also downward trending, a good 10%. Is it a good buy? Now, this is why I want to show you the information again. Let me go back and share my other screen. Why I believe these might be a possibility of sharing. Number one, iShares Gold Trust, Michael. Performance over 1 year, it's down -5%. The expense ratio 0.09. If you want to know what these are, you'll have to look up and do the work because I'm not going to go into the detail. Now, volume, 3-month average volume, 148,000. Not much. This one's not heavily traded. I'd stay clear of this one, actually. 148,000 volume is not good enough for me. There's not enough movement in this one yet. However, this might be a good time to pick this one up when it's slow, when people don't believe in it. Assets under management, 1.1 billion. Inception date, June 15, 2021. It's been around. It's provided by BlackRock, and BlackRock doesn't go into just any ETF. This is a good one for the next year as inflation starts to kick in. Granite Shares Gold Trust Bar is number 2. Performance over 1 year is also down -5%. Volume is 1 million. That's better than the other one. That's almost 10 times the difference. And this one's the issuers of Granite Shares as well. This one's pretty good, and I'd say this is also a good one to pick up during the inflationary period. Aberdeen Physical Gold Shares -5% as well, and it's the most traded, 2.2 million shares traded on an average daily volume. That's very good. It's been around since 2009, and it's held by Aberdeen PLC. Now, what am I recommending is this, that these that I'm showing you here are undervalued. Gold is undervalued. Why? The US has bought 3 times the amount of gold it's bought in the last 20 years. 3 times the amount. Why are they buying gold? Because they know that in order to maintain the value of money, they have to show proof that they have enough gold in its place. Because they've been printing, the US has been printing so much money, even the world has been printing so much money. How are they going to pay for it? They don't have enough to pay for it. And that is going to, one way or another, the boat will be rocked and things are going to tumble down. Maybe it's because of the war. Maybe it's because of the China crisis with COVID and people not believing in it. Maybe it's because of news that's going to come out that there's slower pace of unemployment, and which leads to people not being able to purchase items, which leads to stagflation. If you can't buy and you can't work, then you're not able to do what is needed on a regular basis, and you're going to limit what your expenses are. These are some of the ETFs that I'm recommending for you to look at and do your own due diligence and research and ask around and see if they work out for you. Now, the reality is there's no perfect investment. You invest when everything is down, when people don't believe in it, so that when it turns around, you make some money, just like I've done in the past and I'm going to continue doing. This is CeoTrades. If you want to double your bank account, why don't you invest in your knowledge account so that your money market account will grow multiplied